Welcome back to YouTube, everyone. Derek here, bringing you It Came from the 80s. This weekend I'm going to be doing 2 episodes of this series, because that's how I roll. So what I got for you guys today is a film from, I believe it was filmed in 1988, but I think, or released in Italy in 1988. Well, the information I got said it was released in 1989, but it still works out for my time frame for the series. It's a Italian film. It's directed by a notorious filmmaker, Claudio Fagazzo. If you guys don't know who he is, you probably know him more well from directing Troll 2. And if you've seen the documentary Best Worst Movie, you know who Claudio Fagazzo is after that. He's also known for like his partnership with notorious filmmaker Bruno Mattei back in the late 70s, early 80s. Well, mostly the 80s, and he's also known as, like, he does screenwriting work. I've seen a few of his credits on other films, especially like Zombie 3. Claudio Fagazzo wrote the screenplay for. I actually think he co-directed with Mattei scenes for that, because after Fulci left, Mattei and Fagazzo had to finish the film. Now let's get into this. It's actually, in name only, it's a sequel to Zombie 3. Well, Zombie 3 is actually Zombie 2. It's kind of confusing how they did that. So this is, I think it's actually known more by its surname, because that's the only thing that came up on the credits when the film rolled. It's called After Death, or Zombie 4. Main plot of this one is, it takes place on this island, and the film begins with a voodoo priest opening the gates of hell and releasing the dead onto the earth. And when you figure this out, like, later on, because they don't really get into it, this was years before, and we get to present day, and this is you follow 2 groups of people. There's one on a boat, and there's these 3 adventurers. The 3 people are searching for the medicine that was supposed to be made, because they were doing cancer research on the island before this outbreak happened, the zombies. And these 2, well, the survivors of these groups meet up, and they have to survive. That's pretty much the basic plot of this film, from what I gathered from it. Now, my thoughts on it: typical Fagazzo style, cheesy as hell. There's actually one scene that I was dying laughing, and they find what supposedly is the Book of the Dead. When you see the book, it says Book of the Dead in permanent marker right on the book. It's fucking hilarious. I was dying laughing. I'm like, are you serious? Only Claudio Fagazzo would have that in one of his films. The acting, there's a lot of, like, the acting's not great. It's typical, like, cheese factor acting in this. The main star is actually a well-known porn star, Jeff Stryker. He's more famous for doing, like, I guess when I was doing some information on this film, he was infamous for doing, like, homosexual porn, which, it's a way to make a living. I'm not judging him for that, don't get me wrong, I'm not. But it was just kind of funny that when I found that out, I'm like, really? Jeff Stryker. Yeah, and then 2 guys I actually recognized that were in this film. They were also in Zombie 3. They were, like, the main, like, army dudes in that film. They were also in Rat's Night of Terror, the Bruno Mattei film. So it kind of makes sense that Fugazzo, I think Fugazzo kept like in touch with those guys because he worked with them before on those films. This has a actually the score of this is actually pretty good. I won't lie. It has some like 80 cheese song at the beginning, which kind of like Zombie 3 did. Zombie 3 had a lot of like cheesy 80 songs in it too. This one has like one main one that plays throughout the film in different scenes. But the synth score was actually really good in this, I won't lie. And now let's get into the zombies. The zombies kind of look like not your basic zombies, like they kind of like a mixture of like the Zombie 3 zombies, the way they looked, but they had a mixture of like they were weird because they were all wearing the same outfits. They didn't have any like differentiate statures to themselves. They had like these black robes around their heads, and the only like differentiated zombies that I seen were like, not spoiler alert, but you know how these films end up, like some of the characters in the film, those are the only ones you could differentiate it because they have like different clothes on and different outfits. And my thoughts on like my only problems I have with this film is like the end is kind of like, what the fuck? I follow these characters throughout like this whole like journey, and it had an ending like that. I didn't hate endings like this because I seen like other films that have this kind of ending, but I was like, eh. But I did have a fun blast with this. I won't lie. It was 80s cheese at its finest because it is Claudio Fugazzo. If you've seen any of his other films, like I seen some of Beyond Darkness, I couldn't finish it because I was just fucking dying laughing how hilariously like. I'll get into that later. I'm gonna do a review on that soon. That film. I'm gonna finish it and watch that one. But on to Zombie 4, like yeah, but the zombie effects, like for the most part, like when they're attacking people, the gore is really good. It's really good gore. Like you can see, like they ripped this girl's face off in one scene, and that's a plus for this. Could have had a better ending in my opinion, but I had fun with it. It's a fun film. If I had to rate it, I'll give Zombie 4 or After Death a solid 6 out of 10. It's not overly great, but it's enjoyable enough to watch if you want to have a fun time. If you want to have like a marathon of zombie flicks, this was one I would choose to throw on with some buddies, a few beers, you know, good time. So 6 out of 10. Nothing great, but nothing horrible either. It's not like unwatchable. It's just fun cheese badness at its greatest. Highly recommend Zombie 4. That's all I got for you guys this review. Stay tuned Sunday. I'm going to have another film for you. It's going to be another first time watch for me. It's actually a film that I always wanted to see from one of my favorite directors. I'll give you a hint. He's the son of another one of my favorite directors. So, hope you enjoyed the review. Like, subscribe, and comment if you've seen Zombie 4 and you had any questions about it. The Shriek Show DVD I just showed you, it's kind of hard to find. I got lucky and found it on bullmoose.com. I think they have a few copies left. I'll leave the link for that if you want to pick up a copy of Zombie 4. So, I'll see you in the next review, guys. See you on Sunday.